In this episode we are looking to solve linear equations. Now linear equations often look like this: y equals mx plus c. They are equations because they contain an equals, they must have an equals in them, and they also contain a variable. A variable in this case is x because we don't know what it is, and it can change because it can vary, hence why it's called a variable. When we are asking you to solve them, to solve means to rearrange until you can find the value of x. Okay, so rearrange to find x. And it's all about algebraic rearranging. This means we have to move every single thing away from the x, but if there's a number attached to it, for example this 6, then it has to move last. So in this case we have to work on either side of the equal sign and do what we do on one side, we do on the other. So we've got a plus 7 here. The first thing we should be doing is take 7 on the other side, leaving 6x, and it'll be 21 take 7, which will leave us with 6x equals 14. Now in order to get rid of this 6, because what this is saying really is 6 times x, we need to remove it by dividing it on the other side. So x will equal 14 divided by 6, and if we bust out a calculator, that will be 2.33. okay, round to 2 decimal figures there. Alright, our next one down here, let's go with this one. It's structured a little bit differently, but it's essentially the same. It's got a number that is multiplied by our variable x. We've got another one that is constant over here, and we have something on the other side of the equal sign. If it's a take 7 over here, we add 7. So 4 plus 7 is equal to 2x. We know that 4 plus 7 is 11. If we want to remove the 2, remembering that it is 2 times x, then we divide on the other side. So 11 divided by 2 will equal to x, and x will equal 6.5. okay. Alright, these ones are a little bit more complicated and they have an extra step in them. You can see here that there are some brackets. If we have a bracket, we need to use our distributive law, and we need to say everything outside the bracket multiplies by everything inside the bracket. So 6 times 2 and 6 times x. So let's rewrite this so it makes a little bit more sense to us. 6 times 2 plus 6 times x. One more time to clear it up. So 6 times 2 is 12 and 6x. If we, once again, we've got an x on this side and an x on that side, so what we might like to do eventually is get them on the same side. So let's do that now. We have a plus 6x on the other side. We will have to take 6x equals 12. Okay, so that's going to leave us with negative 3x equals 12. We want to remove this negative 3 from the x, so x equals 12 divided by negative 3, and that's going to give us negative 4. So we have now solved that. We know the value of x. Our final one, very similar. We need to use our distributive law first before we can move on. So we have 2 times x plus 2 times negative 3, remembering we take that sign with us, and 14, so 2x minus 6 equals 14, and now we have something that looks very similar to our easier ones, so we can manage that. So we will get rid of this 6 first of all by adding it on the other side. So we will be left with 2x equals 20, x is equal to 20 divided by 2 to get rid of that one, which means x is equal to 10. So this is something you've done before, but you need to recall that you are moving things from one side of the equal sign to the other, and if you are changing the side, you are changing the sign. You are reversing the operation.